After Xiaomi's assets of $4.8 billion were frozen and BYD failed to invest $1 billion, it became a cruel reality that Chinese companies were suppressed by India. The Indian market's exploitation of overseas companies has become increasingly excessive. Overseas companies investing in India, including U.S. companies, continue to receive unwarranted scrutiny and fines. The Modi team's unruly laws and regulations give these foreign-funded companies no chance to refute. However, the strange thing is that Chinese companies are still keen on setting up factories in India. In fact, to put it bluntly, it is a dilemma. There is no doubt about the potential of the Indian market. It is precisely because of this that many companies have laid too much in the early stage and have formed a relatively complete industrial system. Although it is still at the level of assembly factory, but there is no problem in terms of revenue. Even in the face of relatively casual fines, the overall revenue is still relatively stable. If you choose to quit at this time, all your previous efforts will be in vain. With the current state of the Indian market, it is impossible to enter again in the future. It's difficult. This is the fundamental reason why Chinese manufacturers are unwilling to withdraw from factories. At present, Apple is determined to transfer its production capacity to the Indian market and requires supply chain manufacturers to transfer simultaneously. In order to obtain orders from Apple, many foundries have compromised. But there are always some companies that are still sober in the world. Regarding the $330 million factory construction plan circulating on the internet, Luxshare Precision has officially responded. It is precisely because Modi's team has understood the mentality of Chinese companies that it has continued to suppress them for no reason, arbitrarily freezing the assets of Chinese companies in India, issuing huge fines due to tax issues, and blocking subsequent investments of Chinese companies. Their actions have gradually turned the construction of factories in India into a farce, and now Chinese companies no longer play with them. Apple orders are coveted by parts manufacturers. Everyone wants to be the next Foxconn. But they don't know that Foxconn is now controlled by Cook. The exclusive production rights of the iPhone have been lost, and the production capacity has been dispersed to multiple manufacturers. And also forced it to build a factory in India. Even if there is a problem with the iPhone made in India, Terry Gou will take the blame. Regarding Apple's sincerity, Modi's team naturally gave the greatest support. In 2023, 14 Apple suppliers were approved to invest in India, including Luxshare Precision, Sunny Optical and other companies, but the premise is that to become a joint venture, senior executives such as CEO, CFO, and so on must be Indian nationals. Such unreasonable terms are unacceptable to many companies. Recently, it has been circulated on the internet that Luxshare Precision has given up an additional $330 million investment in India. The response to relevant news is that this Chinese company has been unable to obtain approval for building a factory in India. Even visas for executives going to India are not issued. Given the style of Modi's team, such a thing is possible. But this time, Luxshare Precision no longer tolerated it. Through verification by the Daily Economic News, Luxshare Precision officially refuted the rumors of the $330 million investment, claiming that there had never been such a plan. Obviously, it is no longer important whether there was such a plan. Yes, the important thing is that it can form a certain deterrence for India. I really don't want to continue investing. Let's see who needs whom more. Although Luxshare Precision refuted the rumor, the news spread like wildfire and continued to ferment. The response given by the Indian media was, "This is entirely a loss of $330 million for India." India has always wanted to become the next global manufacturing center, but has always been unwilling to open up the market without any fairness and justice, and it is naturally impossible to succeed in deploying the market with this narrow-minded business method. As one of the core factories of Apple's supply chain, Luxshare Precision cannot successfully build a supply chain in India. Apple's production plan in India will definitely not go smoothly, and it is likely to trigger a corresponding chain reaction, causing more Chinese. It can be said that the Modi team has narrowed the road step by step. Luxshare Precision has played a very important role in Apple's supply chain, and it was also brought in by Cook on his own initiative. If Modi's team continues to make things difficult, it will undoubtedly be a slap in Apple's face. Follow-up: it is uncertain that production capacity will continue to be moved to the Indian market. The business atmosphere in the Indian market has been criticized. As Apple's main partner, Luxshare Precision naturally needs to follow Cook's wishes if it wants to retain Apple orders. But in this current situation, the problem does not lie with Luxshare Precision. But because of India's attitude, there is naturally a reason to retreat. In the short term, it is impossible for Apple to replace Luxshare Precision. As a Chinese company, it is naturally very confident. At present, Huawei's mobile phone business has returned. Even if it loses Apple orders, domestic mobile phones can still achieve temporary replacement. Obviously, it is a completely different situation from Foxconn. The departure of Chinese companies will definitely cause a series of chain reactions, which will make a lot of overseas capital re-examine the value of investing in the Indian market. At the same time, it will also make the Modi team give in, which will provide a good basis for subsequent investments by Chinese companies. Open the way. What do you think about this?